Tommy Richman, the debut album, COYOTE. Tommy Richman has had truly a breakout, come out of nowhere kind of year. I mean, I did hear him for the first time last year on the Brent Faiyaz album. That kind of came and went, to be honest. But I didn't even know at the time that was him. But then this year he dropped $1 Million Baby, which is one of the biggest hit songs of this year. It was in the top 10 on the Billboard charts for weeks and weeks and weeks. If you haven't heard that song by now, I'm not sure if you've like left your house much. But yeah, undeniably one of the biggest songs of the year. I think it has a very cool Southern R&B throwback, kind of a hip-hop mix type of feel to it. When I first heard him, I thought his vocals reminded me quite a bit of Brent Faiyaz, and obviously he was on the Brent Faiyaz album, is also signed to Brent Faiyaz from what I believe. And then after that, you know, he wasn't a one-hit wonder kind of. He dropped another single right after that, Devil Is a Lie, which, you know, banged not as hard as $1 Million Baby, but it did well. It did really well. And personally, I prefer that single to $1 Million Baby. But with that being said, with those two singles that doing really well for him, he decided to not put them on the album, which on one aspect, I respect it, I guess. You know, he's kind of betting on himself. However, it's also not the smartest decision, because if these songs don't hit as much as those tracks did, I don't know, the album might not do too well. It might even make less people go to the album, because, you know, putting those tracks on your album alone kind of like make it so people will go and check out the album because they're on there already, but they have a new placement, you know? So I don't know. I'm not sure if I really understand that decision. Again, he's betting on himself, but he's betting on a lot here. I will say, though, I was not crazy about the two singles that I did hear from this album, because he obviously put out Devil Is a Lie and then $1 Million Baby. And he put out two others that are on this album. I believe it was Whitney and Thought You Were the One, which, I mean, were fine. They weren't bad, but I don't know. They didn't really have that melodic catchiness that those first two tracks had to me. You know, maybe I'll hear them out in context of the record and they'll sound better. But without further ado, let's get into it. Track 1, Elephant in the Room. Tommy Richman, COYOTE. Let's go.
Come on. Left hand, right hand, which one can I choose? Come on.
This doesn't sound like $1 Million Baby.
But I know that it's not your plan. Forever, 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 forever.
I wonder if this album's gonna be a lot more poppy. Yeah, I do remember a lot of the singles prior being a little bit more poppy.
I'm going outside, it's not my time of day.
Part of the situation.
Okay. I mean, short one. Didn't sound like a lot of his stuff. Like, it didn't sound like $1 Million Baby or A Devil Is a Lie, which I think was... Okay, wait. There's more. Okay. Vocals there are nice. I mean, I think that could be a solid taster. Oh, are we getting a transition? Are we getting a transition? Oh, I think we're getting a transition. All right, hold on. Before we transition, I mean, I thought that was a decent opener. I will say sometimes with Tommy, I'm kind of like hit or miss on his vocals. Sometimes I feel like sometimes he can be on, then other times, you know, his vocals can be a bit off for me. But, you know, I thought he sounded good there. I did think the beat was very smooth. I thought it was a solid intro. I mean, very short, but again, it is the opener, so it could be a decent taster. But it looks like we're going to get a pretty solid transition into track 2, Whitney, which was one of the singles. Like I said, I was not crazy about the singles. However, let's see if they sound better in context of the album. Already liking the transition that I think we're gonna have here. Great transition. How the fuck did that happen? All right, let's hear it again. Nice. Smooth transition. Okay, this was the second single, right? I did like the production. I thought this had a really cool, funky, poppy type of sound. I thought the vocals were a little grating, though. Yeah, I don't know. The vocals there are a little bit... Oh, so I said this before, but that melody is so Remy Wolf Photo ID. Smile for the photo ID. It's not like it's exactly an original melody, but like... I don't know how I feel about the vocals. I do like the production, though. I do like the drums. Synths. It is a good melody, too, even if it's not like the most original melody. I don't know, some of the notes he's trying to hit there are not working for me. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good note. I mean, I feel like if you just did another vocal take, it could have been really, really good. But I mean, it doesn't sound like the other stuff, you know, so I do respect that. I do love the production on there. Super wavy, funky instrumental. Love the synths, love the drums. I mean, it has a good melody, the song. I just wish the vocals were a bit better. Certainly not bad, though. Maybe it could grow on me even more. Because, I mean, I'm already liking that on second listen more than I did on the first listen I heard it. All right, track 3, Temptations. Let's go. No, the bass. Man, who's on the drums, dude? Whoa. Vocals are kind of quiet. Oh, it's giving off the wall. It's definitely giving off the wall. That's a nasty groove. Yeah, it's super Michael Jackson's inspired. No denying that. Okay, he's hitting that note. He's hitting those notes. Okay. Okay. Those background vocals are actually good. His vocals sound great.
Hey, all you boppers out there. I'm gonna take you to channel 93.9.
Is this him? I liked this. The production on here is great. Whoever's on the production here is killing it.
Hey, all you people out there.
Sound like live drums, to be honest.
We gonna be okay.
Okay. That might be my favorite Tommy Richman song so far, at least in the top 3. Okay. Temptations. That was the best one so far. Damn, he went Michael Jackson. He went full Michael Jackson on that one. He went disco. He went off the wall. Production was phenomenal. Drums, the live drums there, sounding clean as hell. Killer bass line, just groovy, just nonstop disco groovy vibes. And his vocals there, like he had background vocals there that actually sounded really freaking good. Like that one a lot. Like that one a lot. Okay. Track 4, Whisper in My Ear. I kind of feel like the vocals here are a little quiet too. Is it just me? Is it just me? All right, this one's melodic. This one's more of an R&B style one. It's smooth. I'm not sure if it has like the most memorable chorus though, or like a standout melody really. I mean, the song was over 2 minutes long, but it didn't really feel all that long. It was fine. I don't know, that one just didn't really leave any type of impression on me. I thought maybe could use like a stronger chorus, maybe some stronger writing. I mean, the vocals were solid, but like, it felt like it was missing something. It felt like it was missing something. And I don't know if it's just me again. The vocals sounded a little quiet. Maybe when I hear it on like different speakers or like different headphones, maybe if when I use my Apple headphones, it will sound a little bit different. But I don't know why it sounded a little bit quiet. I mean, it wasn't a bad track, but it felt like it was missing something. I don't know. Okay, ooh, transition right into track 5. Give it all.
Bringing me back again. Yeah. And I got some time I wanna waste with you.
I gotta say, the instrumentation has been impressive so far.
But I don't wanna turn around, but you don't gotta stay. 'Cause you're keeping my mind so clear again. You're making me chase my fears again.
That bass.
But you don't love me. You're switching sides since you cut me out. You cut me out again. I really wanna give it all to you. Yeah, just for now and then.
Smooth.
Give it all back, back. Move out to the west end. Don't let me space it.
I'm not really having much issues with the vocals on most of these songs so far.
Move out to the west end.
I like that melody he's doing. Oh, the guitar parts at the end there. I mean, the bass on there, again, was strong. I think these tracks have been really solidly produced so far. It ended with a little bit of a fade out. The album so far has been hasn't been bad, but has been too sonically cohesive for me. What kind of criticism is that? It's too cohesive? I don't know. That was more of a smoother R&B vibe, I thought. Maybe like a 2000-ish feel. I mean, I liked the vibe of that one quite a bit. I did. I mean, I do think lyrically, songwriting-wise, I think Tommy has a lot to improve on. Because, you know, that was a heartbreak one writing-wise. And it sounded good, but, you know, the writing wasn't necessarily the most exciting thing or the most interesting thing. But I think that's something he could definitely improve on. Good one, though. All right, track 6, Tennessee. We got some features on this one. Trevor Spitta and Zachary Moon. Not familiar with either of these guys.
Pinky ring, not a wedding ring. I was 10 years old and then I blinked and I was 17. Baby,
There's little woodwinds in the back.
I'm tapping in. I do what I want and then I'm packing in. So baby, yeah, what's up? What you know about it?
That feature did nothing for me. I'm sorry. Was that Trevor Spitta? That feature did nothing for me. I did like Tommy's little background vocals, or it was like, whoa. That was kind of cool. Who's this? Zachary Moon? Oh, synth bass line. Okay, neither of those features did anything for me. That little woodwind hit is nice.
Call me Tommy 'cause I'm trying to get rich, man. I'm not going to hell 'cause that life's a bitch, man. Why? I pay no fees, I pay no dues. I pay no fees, I pay no dues. I pay no fees, I pay no dues.
I'm not really feeling this one. This is my least favorite so far. That's a very distinct, you know, little like synth line. I did like the little woodwinds in the back, but wasn't really into either of those features, unfortunately. Oh, didn't mean to click that. Wasn't really into either of those features. I just thought that one was pretty boring compared to the previous 5 tracks. Instrumentally, it didn't go as hard as the previous tracks either. Yeah, my least favorite so far. It wasn't horrible, but that one was kind of boring to me. Weak features. Tommy didn't really stick out even all that much, or even enough to like save it, I don't think. And yeah, I don't know. It was okay. All right, track 7, Thought You Were the One. This was a single. I thought it was okay, but maybe when I hear it a second time here, it will be better. My issue with this song was the vocals, I remember. Here he sounds fine. I mean, he hits those notes is kind of... But this is actually probably the only single so far that has a similar vibe to those first 2 singles. Southern-esque on the drums. I don't know. I'm not really crazy about the notes he's sitting on that vocals. I thought you were the one. Again, I don't think it's horrible. He's really trying. Whenever he hits those higher registers, I'm very indifferent on it sometimes. Like points, I think it'd be good. I'm not feeling it here. Again, but I do think there's a melody there, though. You know. Very atmospheric outro too here. It's not the worst thing ever. Yeah, a little synth outro. Forgot about this part. It's kind of cool. Vibey. I'm not crazy about the chorus. And again, I do think Tommy has a lot to improve on the writing end. I think if he like improves his writing, steps up his writing on the next project. I mean, it is his first album, you know. Steps up his writing on the next project. There's a lot of potential here so far. I'll say that. All right. Track 8, Letterman with Paco. Don't know if I know who that is either. Haven't been crazy about the past. The past 2 tracks have definitely been my least favorite. Does he have the same producer for all these tracks? Oh, he actually has credits on this one, production. This isn't Tommy. No, okay, this is the feature. He gave him the Letterman jacket. He gave the Letterman jacket. What a gentleman. Baseline.
win.
I feel like this person kind of has a similar vocal style to Tommy.
About all the times
Just like higher pitched.
think about all the times that I would walk away and pray.
This isn't Tommy, right?
Oh girl, put your hands on me.
Is it? Now I'm just confused. Is this Tommy with his voice, with his vocals pitched up? Is Tommy, so he just has his vocals pitched up?
I can judge, but I won't let you try me. Think you know me now, but that's behind me. This was something good, but now I'm finding reflections in my rearview mirror.
Alright, is this the feature?
She likes sex till like 5 in the morning. Rain is pouring.
I don't know. I mean, I guess both of their vocals are pitched up.
She likes sex till like 5 in the morning.
What are these lyrics? What are these lyrics?
She likes sex till like 5 in the morning. Rain is pouring.
Yeah, I really don't. I guess the feature was that the second half there, and that was Tommy on the first half. His vocals were just pitched up. Wasn't really crazy about the decision to pitch up the vocals there. Also, lyrically, I didn't really care for it. Only thing I really liked about that track was the bass line. Did think it had a very funky bass line. Yeah, and wasn't crazy about that one either. The past couple tracks, haven't been into them. Haven't been to the past couple tracks. All right, hopefully we pick things up here on track 9, Green Therapy. Okay. Some piano keys. Haven't had much pianos on the album. And more bass line.
Staring at the light, it's not a green light. I know that I'm not bad enough. Know that I'm not bad enough. 'Cause you're always playing with me. Know that she's bad enough.
Piano keys.
I think about the times I was young. I think it's always green
Background
on the
vocals?
other side. Had to leave home for a long time. I said my father always yelling at me every night. It's true.
There's some lyrical thought coming through. I like the writing on this one too so far.
I had to pick the pieces up. I had to start a tone. I had to smack him in his face and tell me leave me alone.
Wait, what? He said he smacked his dad in the face? Did I hear that right?
I had to smack him in his face and tell me leave me alone.
Was that like literally smacked him in the face? Or like metaphorically smacked him in the face? I don't know.
Selling drugs, that's a hot topic. You brought my family to pieces, so can you stop it?
He's definitely getting a little bit more personal on this one.
I know it's really not a problem.
Ooh.
Accepting myself.
Okay.
Why would I lie?
See, he's hitting the high notes there well.
Accepting myself. Why would I lie?
Oh, man. Okay. That was a bit of a personal one. I think that was the strongest one in terms of songwriting. Like, the one song so far that actually had me pretty engaged in terms of the writing. Kind of talking about the relationship with his parents, his dad specifically, especially at the end there. I mean, kind of seemed like, you know, green therapy, and then it seemed like it was like a therapy sit down there at the end. But yeah, I did like that one in terms of writing and vocals. Vocals were there. He was hitting the high notes there well. And production was super pretty. Love the pianos. Love that little bass line. There's been a lot of good bass lines throughout this album. There was also like a sound effect that it sounded like a, yeah, it sounded like there was some like nature samples in the background. I don't know if I'm hearing that right, but it was very pretty. It was a very pretty track. That's one of my favorites so far, so. Nice. Okay. I don't know if there's a transition or not. I think there is.
Ready for the moment of power. It's now.
There is. Whoa. Okay, wait. Track 10, Vanity. This is 6 minutes long. This is the longest song of his career? Probably. Guitar. Is that his vocals or is that a sample? Or is that an instrument? I don't even know. I gotta say, like, he definitely has a solid ear for good production, and I think he helps out on a lot of the production credits too. Like, he has credits on this one. He's had credits on a few tracks. So one thing, I think the most positive thing I can see out of this album so far is that the beat selection is pretty impressive.
I'ma do it just for myself. I'ma do it just for myself.
Ooh, the groove, the funk.
Time again, time again, time again.
It has like an 80s funk feel. Oh. Still 6 minutes of this, but I mean, honestly, there's a lot of progression going on with the production so far. Slow breakdown here is nice.
I'ma do it just for myself. I'ma do it just for myself. I'ma do it just for myself.
Build up, build up. Oh, synths.
I'ma do it just for myself.
Whoa. The fuck? Okay. Whoa, the switch up. Kind of a... I respect the risk being taken on this track. Okay, we're building up. I want even a harder breakdown here. I'm liking the track so far, though. Okay, I mean... Adventurous track. I respect this. That was a very risky track. 6 minutes, a lot of progression in terms of the production and the structure of it as well. And we're still kind of going here. A little bit of an outro. Oh. Okay. Drum hits. I might like that one even more the more I hear it, because I did really, I mean, again, the production was the most standout part about it. That had a lot of cool switches and progressions and build-ups. The structure I thought was kind of interesting. I do want to like hear it on second listen if like the tune is actually there, but I really respect 6 minutes. It didn't really feel like 6 minutes, and it was entertaining throughout, but certainly a daring song there. There's a lot of risk being taken there. Very respectable. Very respectable. All right, we're at the final track here. I want to end this one out strong because I feel like the past couple tracks have been really solid. Seems like time moves forever. Final track.
I don't hear a word from you, 'cause the silence is loud. It's so damn loud. It's so damn loud. Can you figure me out? Can you figure me out?
Reverb on the vocals. Oh, we're getting spacey.
Seems like time moves forever.
Man, the drummer, whoever's doing the drums on this album, hats off to you. This album had like a surprising amount of 80s feel to it that I was not expecting. Oh, this is, okay, it's a feature. I thought it was a feature. Okay, damn. My Name Isn't Jack. Shout out to him. Best feature on the album. That one had some passion in it, lyrically. Good performance. Again, I'm surprised there weren't as many like Southern-inspired tracks on this album that I thought there was going to be, like Houston-esque production that were on the singles. I guess it kind of makes sense why the first two weren't on the album. Ooh. This one's atmospheric. I like that refrain a lot, too. That's a good refrain. Wow. Kind of like an alternative. I don't even know. Like, that was a little bit of alternative there. Like, super spacey. Maybe a little bit of an 80s alternative feel to it. With some R&B. Like, there's a lot of different inspired sounds going into that final track. I liked that one a lot. That one was really good. I mean, super impressed by the production on that one and throughout this whole album. But that was a really good closer. Seems like time moves forever. Oh, maybe a little Prince inspiration. Someone said in the chat, Bowie, yeah. Okay. Honestly, Tommy Richman, COYOTE, I thought this was a solid debut album. And I didn't have the highest expectations going into it because I didn't love the singles. I do think there is a little bit of a lull in the middle of the track listing. I do think besides that last feature, most of the features on this album weren't necessarily needed. But with that being said, I was pretty impressed. Best thing about this album, definitely, I was really impressed by the production. Whoever's doing a lot of the drums on here, killer. Bass lines, killer. Synths, really freaking good. Like, Tommy definitely has a good ear for production. I even think he is involved in a lot of the production credits on this album as well. So that's impressive. Vocally, honestly, I thought I was going to have more issues going into it. But other than those two singles, which honestly, maybe it's just like Tommy's vocal style is growing on me a little bit. Maybe that's just all it is, but I didn't really have too much issues vocally. I thought this album had a good amount of versatility. There was one track, Freaking Temptations, which I thought was really good. One of my favorites here. That was super Michael Jackson disco inspired. There was other tracks that were very funk inspired. Maybe some throwback 80s sounds here too. Some R&B, 2000s R&B, 90s R&B feel too. I mean, it's versatile, but I think it all is very cohesive when it is all put together in one. So yeah, I mean, it flows well. I do think there's a bit of a low in the track listing in the middle for 3 or so tracks, but I thought it ended really strong. Like the last 3 tracks were some of the best tracks on the album. Yeah, I mean, I like this a lot more than I thought. I think the only issue I have for now is I think Tommy could improve a lot on the songwriting end, but there were still like glimpses of really solid songwriting, especially on Green Therapy. Thought the songwriting stuck out on that one quite a bit. So I will say, if like there's potential, like this album was good. It was really solid. It actually surpassed my expectations, and it really shows that he has a lot of potential. Super talented. Obviously has a good ear for a lot of different things. So I'm excited to see what Tommy does in the future. I think there's a lot to improve on. And if he really, you know, phones in more on that songwriting, I think his next project could be really special. But yeah, surprisingly good debut. I was not expecting to like this as much as I did. So shout out Tommy Richman. Certainly an exciting artist to watch. So I'm looking forward to what he does next.